Welcome to another episode of Starseed Activations. Thank you everyone for joining me. Today we have Mary as well as Stacy with us. Mary, go ahead, please introduce everybody.
This is Danielle, Stacy, and me.
Are you sure that's who's here?
Yeah. Stacy is with cardinalangel.com, Reiki Stacy on YouTube. Danielle is on daniellipton.com. And I am on YouTube, and my YouTube name is on the page if you all want to go to my YouTube channel.
Beautiful. We have this full moon energy tonight. It is helping us to laugh and to be as children are and to just have fun. But we are going to start with an Om. Now, an Om allows us to open and expand the heart chakra. It allows us to hold and to feel more love, which then allows for an alignment to form in the energetic grids of each individual here. That allows for a cleaner type of channeling session tonight. We, the star people, are ever so gently stepping forward. We wish for each of you to Om with us. We wish for each of you to feel unconditional love. And we also wish for each of you to focus on anything that you wish or desire to release. For we are also facilitating a type of energetic clearing tonight, allowing for each individual who facilitates the Om to clear your energetic grid structures of any densities, any distortions, will ever so gently remove. We send many love and blessings, dear ones. Deep breath in. And one more deep breath in. Thank you. Thank you, star people, for this beautiful channeled session tonight. Yes, thank you, star people. It's beautiful. Hey, what are we talking about today? We had an amazing conversation going just before clicking the button.
I think it was about how it seems like you were talking about because I was asking if it was telepathy, and you said I think it was collective consciousness, and how I was having a lot of synchronicities with conversations, either with different people, where they were sending messages, the same type of messages to one another, whether it be like maybe days apart or even minutes apart, and it's like, what's going on? Because this is really rapidly, like really close together. And like, not just like, hey, how you doing? I'm thinking about you. I mean, like really more complex messages too, that are being duplicated and sending back out to the ether. So we were kind of talking about like that collective consciousness, I think too.
Yes, so that's like a complete activation of unity consciousness. Now, I've seen this before. So we were going through some solar alignment years ago, and this is actually going back, I believe it was 2019 or 2020. During this shift, I had an individual very close to me come over, and the conversation that we had, it was very rapid, it was very fast. And in that moment, I knew I was speaking to myself, because every single word that was coming out of my mouth about my life, my experiences, everything I have been going through, she had also been going through, and she reflected it right back at me through her conversation. So it was like, well, I had a conversation with this person and this happened and then that happened. And it was like such like odd synchronicities. It had to do with car insurance. And then there was an argument and then there was something else and this person. And it was like, she had the exact same thing with, you know, that person in her life and her car insurance and this and like coming together. And it was like, during that shift, I knew I was talking to one consciousness. And then it begs to ask the question, okay, well, if you were showing me reflections and it's like everything that I was going through, all the frequencies inside of me are being reflected from another individual. So what does that say about the world that we're actually living in? Because if we are witnessing just sheer reflections on many, many different levels, it's like truly stepping into a celestial level of awareness then allows us to activate. And when we activate, we are able to see and change and modify the mirror reflections as we see fit. Now, you know, with the star people just showed me an image in one of the Star Wars movies. Not that we're promoting Star Wars, but in one of the Star Wars movie, the young lady, she steps in front of a mirror and she sees her body over and over and over again. And then in the past, over and over and over again. That's kind of what's happening to each of us. And we're seeing the mirror reflections reflected in both the people outside of us through every single experience that we're having and them like aligning to co-create each experience with us according to our frequencies and our alignments. But each experience in the primary frequency, dear ones, that each of you are holding inside your energetic grid is also reflected into your past and future lives. So therefore, activating a celestial level of awareness is always going to happen in the now moment. For in the now moment, each individual may choose to hold a higher resonance or frequency oscillation. This then allows your primary soul tubule to carry more light from the higher self. Once the higher self fully embodies the physical material you know as your body, it shall then allow for these types of instantaneous adjustments. There is a system of lenses that each of you are able to change or modify, which then in turn shall shift the outward reflection of your soul tubule. This shall allow your alignments to reflect back at you very differently. It is simply spoken a drop of water in a bucket. Each of you are able to change or modify the reflections as you see fit. This starts with the thoughts and emotions. However, dear ones, there are different forms of meditation in which you are able to change or modify the reflection of light from within. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Star.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You looking at the wild ones?
I'm just distracted by your background because it's like little orbs floating by like in my garage, and I'm like,
Isn't it cool? It's so rainbow. We
yeah.
have rainbow lights. I wanted Christmas lights, and a part of me was like, well, I don't want to just have them for Christmas and then have to put them in the closet. So I got these because then there was an app, and then I could pick the different holidays, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
Like it lights up the entire room, so it looks like a party in here.
That's awesome.
So cool.
And also, it could have an effect on us like that is because we are all one as well.
Yes, that is correct. However, each of us may activate our own celestial level of awareness so that because if we're all one, like we don't want the concept or the thought, because sometimes some people get this thought in their mind. They're like, well, if we're all one, can somebody else take over the entire consciousness? But that's not actually the way it works because we are all in our own individual timeline bubble. This is your energetic grid structure. It's a toroidal field. Looks like this. It makes a little X. That X is in the heart. That is a 0 point. It comes outwards like this, and it goes all the way around your body. You as a divine creator, can raise your frequency, activate your higher self, and then you can activate your own celestial being. Being a celestial being is very similar to that of, the stories of the mythological stories of people who had extrasensory abilities automatically activated. So we're talking like the demigods. In that phrase, they were able to do things that regular human beings were unable to do. And that is because they were activated. Now you can activate in the energetics, which then shifts or modifies the DNA genome. But the truth is that each and every one of us, we could just close our eyes. We can go into the DNA genome and we can start flicking things on and flicking things off. And truly, it comes when we hold different emotions, because the emotions tend to imprint the biological form and to shift or modify the genome around anyway. So it's like we naturally work this way. This is also how the ancestral karma works. So if you have, let's take the glasses for an example. If your parents wear glasses and then all of a sudden you came to a certain age, you triggered the same emotion that the parents triggered. It turned on the genome. So now all of a sudden you need glasses. And then it goes right down the line. You may have children and the children may trigger that emotion and then they need glasses. But what has to happen? You just have to figure out what's the emotion and then focus on it for long enough and summon an 11th octave, which is where the higher self resonates. This is done through different meditation techniques. And then the higher self will radiate downwards a higher frequency, which then shifts the lens system and you start to heal your eyes. That's how it works. But it's baby steps. You have to put the focus on it.
Yep. That's what I did with my knee.
Yeah, that's what you
With
do.
the help of you and, just all day, every day.
When I would, because I did this once. So I was focused on my eyes constantly and it healed by 1 point in each eye. And then, of course, I stopped the focus because life happens and you have kids and, all the stuff. And then it went back and it reverted. But I still got it to do it by 1 point in each eye. And the optometrist, he was like, I've never seen this happen before. And I was like, yes, because I knew what I had done. I had put my focus on it. But in 2019, I did the same exact thing. And I did, because I used to be in pain all the time, chronic pain, sciatica, back injury, the whole 9 yards. And in 2.5 weeks, all of my pain was able to shut off. And that was through raising my frequency. So that's just a pain receptor. Now we're able to heal the body. I've seen people around me heal of cancers. I don't make claims like that. All healing is self-healing. The only thing I did was surround the woman with crystals, make her put her feet on the grass, go watch the sunset and the sunrise, and, everything, oming, chanting, whatever it took, making people laugh. And I've seen 4 giant masses in her lungs. She went for a second scan and it was gone. It was disappeared. I also had her doing things like, borax therapy and iodine therapy. So, but still, it's like the body is designed to heal. If you give it the right conditions, the right location, and the right amount of love and attention, your body will heal from anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because I think you said higher self healing, right? Your higher self is healing, and that's my Telegram channel name.
See, that's a reflection. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's beautiful.
Your Telegram channel name.
Yes, like you can name yourself in your Telegram channel. Like I have my own Telegram channel, but like you could also call yourself instead of Mary Jean. You can do and you can rename yourself as a different name under. Look it up.
Yeah,
I think I was like the only person on TikTok to put my actual name. Right, everyone else has different names. I was just like Danielle Lipton. That's it. Here's me, because it matches the Facebook and the this and the that and the Instagram and
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, I put my own name.
Yeah. That's okay.
Last night when I went to bed, I asked my guides to send me a heart blast. Yeah. And I felt it for the first time.
Cool.
Go through my heart and then radiate through my entire body. when I
Yeah.
was in meditation. And it's amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's amazing. And
So
then
what did
I,
you feel exactly? How did that feel to you?
it kind of felt like my Kundalini
Yeah.
was radiating. But first it was in my heart, and then it's like it went through my whole body.
Yeah.
And then I put my hands up and I asked them to touch my hands. Let me feel it in my hands. And I felt the tapping on this hand. It was like a tapping. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
And then she'll text me, I can't believe it's happening.
It was wild.
It's amazing. It's
I was
amazing.
just so happy.
Yeah.
My life is incredible.
It is. It really is. You feel it.
Mhm.
You say it. And even if you're having a crummy day, it's okay to still say my life is incredible. Right? Because the tiny little moments that we spend unhappy or going through the darkness or releasing, that doesn't define your entire life. Right? Your entire life is much longer than this now moment expression. So it's so funny because I started using magnets. And now I've had these magnets when I do my attachment release sessions. I actually have a pair of gloves that they have copper sewn into the gloves. I got them at CVS. It's like copper fit or whatnot, but it has like a
Mm.
wrap, a band that goes around so I can slide crystals inside of them.
Oh.
And then neodymium, I believe that's how you say it, neodymium magnets are sewn in to the palm of the glove. So that when I'm going over the person, pulling the darkness off of them, I'm also radiating a magnet. And then I can flip the magnet over so I can get the north and the south polarity of the magnet in each hand. Now, I just came into a whole stack of these. And so for my morning meditation, I started putting the magnets all over. And I had it in my throat. And then I felt exactly what you felt. The Kundalini went up. And it felt like if you've ever eaten a wintergreen, like when like your sinuses like it opens, that's what the energy feels like when you start to use the magnets. But if I would have done this years ago, I probably wouldn't have felt it. But now that I'm consciously focused on the energy clearing and the work, now I could feel the energy shifts inside of my body. So I put them on my head. I put them on the temples. I put them on the front. I put them on the top. The top was really interesting because when I did the north polarity of the magnet, now I realize the neodymium magnets, they're stronger than a regular kitchen magnet. When I put it on the top of the crown, I felt it go straight down and it opened my heart chakra. And I was like, wow. And it felt like that wintergreen, like the heart chakra just opened and it felt clean. Right. And then you take it, you move it down to the lower belly, and you feel. And if you have any blockages, you could put on your shoulders, your neck. I have some, they're like on a fabric string too. I have two loose ones and a fabric thing. And I put it behind my back. I laid down on it so I could feel it in the individual spinal cord. So it was very interesting. It's like, this is where it's at. We could be using the magnets, we could be using the crystals, right? And these are all tiny tools that each one of us have at our disposal. They're cheap. This isn't expensive. It's just a magnet. It's like what, $5, right? But it's
Mhm.
strong enough where we can pull the Kundalini energy all the way up by using it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, you really are.
I
You
have
really
two
are.
Yeah,
magnets that
I'm one. I'm one.
like those name
Oh.
tags
Let me
with the
show you.
magnets on it. I have two of those. So I'll just
Let's
use
see.
those.
I'm just trying to visually see because you got copper fit gloves,
Oh yeah,
right?
those were cool.
And then you put crystals inside them and magnets. Is that what you're saying? I was
Yes.
gonna
The
visually
magnets are
imagine
sewn
it.
in to the gloves. So the
They're
magnets
so
are,
into it.
yeah,
Okay.
I had somebody, so I knew that this is like a deja vu for me. I knew I was going to be having this conversation. The magnets are sewn in the glove. And so but the magnet, it's like this, right? Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I
Okay.
see it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
that?
those are big.
Is
Except
that it?
it's loose in the glove, so I could flip it over.
Oh.
Yeah, these are the magnets, and they're on this like band thing.
Yeah.
And it said, like, my father gave this to me. It says Therapeutica,
Uh huh.
Therapia.
Yeah.
So wherever he got it from, I asked him for my father's got like the superpower. I asked him if he has something, and he's like, "Yeah, sure, I have it right here." And he does it every single time. I'm like, "Wow, because you know they have
Neat.
this." And he's like, "Yes, but these are the loose ones."
Yeah.
And so you guys can just see. Let me back it up so all three cameras. It's very strong, right? So
Oh
like
yeah.
if you put your finger in it or you get your skin stuck in between it, it's very strong. But yeah, and then these are great because you start to put them on the skin and you can literally you could feel it just coming up the body. I kept having this like vision of like I know why they wore crowns because they were putting magnets and crystals in it, and like this is exactly we have the meridian system
Well,
that
because I mean, they usually would have jewels, right?
Yeah.
Some kind of, diamonds or whatever, right? It could have been crystals. I mean, we were imagining it being like jewelry
Well,
or
that's
like
what it is.
precious metal, precious, jewelry, but it could have been crystals, and that could have been activating their crown.
Well, the precious jewelry was made of like gemstones.
Right,
Those are
right.
crystals. That's what
Right.
this is. And like the different things that the priests use. They use their
Yes.
goblets and stuff, and it has, different crystals on it.
And like even the high priest, they would have the gemstones on their breastplates,
Yes.
so on their heart chakra.
That's
area.
why.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is like I kept having this vision of having this like not a crown because we don't want to call it a crown, but like something that's like gold plated because gold in itself it increases in mental activity. It increases a type of voltage. If you can't afford gold, right? Then we can make it out of stainless steel or whatever we have, we just use it. But really putting magnets on it. And so that this way, but the magnets in my reality, I would want the magnets to be something that I could take and flip over because the south polarity of a magnet, it pulls the energy outwards, right? So if you have any density, any distortions, it'll pull it out. And then the north side pushes the energy in. So
Right.
it's of high value to utilize both sides of the magnet.
Right.
Right?
I hope you
Now-
can keep in balance, right?
Yeah,
If you flip it back and forth, because if you're always pushing it out, you don't have enough energy, so you need to flip it back in so you can get more energy
Yes.
in.
You have to do both. Now,
Yeah.
and that's that's not even talking about spinning magnets, right? Because amazing things start to happen when we start to like spin the magnets, especially if you have two and you take two magnets and you put them together like this so that they're spinning so that it's like this causing a toroidal field, which is what our energetic grid looks like. But then how does the Earth's magnetic field flow? It flows like a toroidal field, and then it rotates that in a hole. So if you could do that too, you generate different types of torsion fields doing that.
That's super interesting because, like, when I was first waking up and learning about chakras and all that stuff, I never heard chakras. So spiritually programmed, I mean religiously, I should say religiously programmed. I never heard the word chakra, and so it was like learning in the process. And so, like, I even got silver coins and put them on my chakras to see if that would activate the metal, and it actually would warm up my body. And I thought, I think this is working because I can feel it. It's different. It's like when it was on your body. So it's like that metal. It's part of the earth, I guess, right?
Yes. And look, we had the comment come in. Copper was used for healing, right? And that's exactly what we're doing. Using copper vessels, right? So even if you took it and you made it out of copper, well, there's a lady on TikTok, and it was like I kept having the thought, we have to get this thing, we have to put the magnets on it. And then here she comes with these types of like headbands that go around the head, and she twists and turns the hair in it. And I'm like, we could probably just get one of those and like super glue some magnets and crystals and stuff to it, which is perfect.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
Kearns, before that thing disappears, I wanted to tell him that instead of saying I need, say I already have.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
He said I need abundance, a new job. Say I already have abundance. I already have a new job.
Thank you, universe, for gifting me abundance and for, whatever else, for employment. This way you are now currently working. Every single word that we speak from our mouth, and I know I get it because there was once upon a time where people would have told me this, and I was like, nah, you're just being crazy, right? And it was like, you go through the stages. And now I know for a solid fact, every single word that we speak, it reflects into the energetic complex and it starts a process of manifestation. I see it. I know the way this works now. So it makes you really be like aware of the words that are being spoken around you, but also aware of the words that are coming out of your mouth. The more focus and attention that we can place on the words, the more we are able to raise the biological frequency, which then, dear ones, shifts your own density level. Your thoughts are free flowing in an ether. They come into the mind. However, each thought is directly controlled by 4 to 5 memory strings. These memory strings pull the thoughts, and it meets in a type of 0 point located within your mind. This then allows for a type of communication to occur in which you are becoming in alignment with the thought grid that is already existing in the simulation. You are able to control or modify the level of density your mind is holding with these baby steps of controlling the thoughts and emotions, as well as feeling. What is it that you wish to convey with your life? If you are able to see it, you are then able to shift your magnetic alignment, in which you will naturally start speaking about things that draw your highest potential timeline. This occurs naturally when you are excited, dear ones, for excitement activates joy and bliss frequency. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you, people.
Thank you,
Thank you,
star
Star
people.
People. And I think that's why they, it's like your words are like a double-edged sword, right? So they can cut and hurt, like if you spoke them to someone else, or if you're speaking that about speaking negatively about yourself too, like the negative self-talk. And I think we're our worst critics sometimes, right? The other people aren't speaking those words to us. We're speaking that about ourselves. And so we're literally sitting there cutting ourselves and bringing ourselves down with that vibration of the words that we're speaking. So it's to be really careful with what we're saying to others and about ourselves too.
Always, always. But I mean, to some degree, we magnetically align the conversations that we are having. And there's always a reason for it because it is a reflection of either where we have come from or where we are heading. And that's why they always tell people you have to watch who you're surrounding yourself with, because the individuals who are like the top 5 people in your life, their frequencies are going to reflect on you. And then all of a sudden, it's going to shift your manifestation just by being in alignment with the person. You can, and now this is really the way it works. You could pick up the phone, you could have a 5 minute phone call with somebody. And I'm not even talking about like their words or their energy, like raising your spirit. I'm talking like your energy grid replies to their energetic field. So 5 minutes on a phone, all of a sudden your energy has completely shifted, which shifted your potential outcomes of your manifestation. So that means if you spend 5 minutes on a phone call with someone who's at a higher frequency, then all of a sudden it's like you've just pulled in all this ether into your energetic field, and you're going to manifest on a higher frequency automatically. Now, what happens when we pull in someone who's at a lower frequency? That lower frequency and all of the attachments that the person is holding. Attachments can be dark or they could be light. So angels or attachments, the dark ones. That is what these are. They are only messengers. This is what the star people call them. When you are engaging in a conversation with a person, it activates their attachments, start to trigger on your energy field. And then each attachment contains an emotion code. So depending on what that person is holding as an emotion code, it is going to start to have a resonance on your field, which always starts a process of manifestation. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I quit listening to music. The music, this were the words. I don't even listen to anything anymore. And if I start singing them in my head, I ask the angels to take it out of my head, and it goes.
Well, there's different types of chanting. So I was introduced to kirtan, which are, it is like the Hindu deities, and they have specific tones, and it sounds like words, but you can chant it. Each one of those words, it activates your energy field into a higher level of awareness. So I started listening to meditation music so that the meditation
That's
music
right.
is, and it's not produced by a company. It's produced by random people who put it out because that's their vibe, right? They're into meditations and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had a TV. Well, I haven't had cable or satellite since 2017, and I don't know the last time a TV's been on.
Yeah.
It's there, I guess, in case something happens. I can turn it on.
I gave away my
Maybe it'll work.
I smashed my TV.
You smash it.
I gave
Like,
mine
I'm like,
away. I did. I ended up having to buy a brand new TV for my son though, because I like my kid. He's 13. How do you tell a 13-year-old you go from having a TV to not having a TV, and they have Nintendo and all the stuff, and it was like,
yeah.
you know,
All
no
the
more
animals.
TVs. We're on the Ascension timeline, and it's like, well, he's 13, right? So it's like you kind of have to give and take a little.
Yeah,
And
you
it's
do.
like, you know, I ended up having to purchase him a new TV, so it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
okay. Sometimes, and on the rare occasions, we get our Mario on. It's so much fun. But you know, it's like from the 80s, right? We play those versions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
fun.
Are you
Mhm.
driving the car against each other?
Oh yeah. Well, we do. We do. Super Mario World, and you get
Are
the
you
princess
Luigi?
crown. No. And the one that he puts on, I get the princess crown. So like I can jump, and if I land in like the acid, it bumps me back up once. It's like, yeah, she's in the mom version.
The mom version.
Yeah. It's so great. But I mean, those are like the memories that you have with your kids, right? So it is like, you know, we're on
Mhm.
the timeline, we're doing all this stuff to like raise our frequency and focus, and you know, but at the end of the day, we also have to have fun and live our human lives and have a little bit of that still here, you know, and then it all comes together, and it's like just be happy. Yeah. And do the best you can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Caroline.
Hi, Russ.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Kearns.
Who's the other one?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hi,
Scroll.
Kathy.
Hi, Kearns. Hi, Russ. Russ found a product. I love when the commenters, I love you guys. I'm always like, what was that show? And they're like, bam, here was the show, right? He put it, here's a smart therapeutic infrared and magnetic therapy. So it's right there in the comments on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So anyone wants, I mean, I don't know what it looks like because I can only see the comment, but that's pretty cool. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Right. I'm a big
Hi,
fan
Michael.
of together. Hey, Michael's in's here. I'm a big fan of Together We Rise. So it's like if one of us knows something, and we just had this happen earlier this week, Mary, with Scott. Scott sent me a video, and on the video was a neurosurgeon discussing wearing the yellow lenses while, you know, the blue light is like toxic or all the stuff. I sat there and I watched the entire video, and it was like, it brought up good points because I've known about sun gazing, you know, and that's always been my favorite times. Like I used to ride a motorcycle when I was younger, and you know, we used to go to the beach and watch the sunset all the time. Well, that sunset is actually recharging not only our pineal gland, but it's actually producing hormones in the eyes, which then start to like heal the body. And that was always my favorite time of the day, was watching the sunset or even the sunrise. And now all of this information is coming about the blue light being toxic for us, having to wear yellow sunglasses to block out the blue light from, you know, the lights we use, the computer technology, all of the things. Anyone who's in the Tree of Life organization, we posted the videos up And like I just found another video of the neurosurgeon too. And I posted that one up today too. This way everyone can read, and it's like we're learning all of this together, and together we rise. So it's like if you guys have information that's going to help people, drop it in the comments, right? Send it up, and then we'll post it out. This way everyone can see, because there's a million different ways to get to where we're going. And it's like, breath work and yoga and, the ice baths and all of these different modalities. But it may work for some people and it may not work for other people. But it's knowing the complete spectrum of all the different modalities, and then allowing each person to like pick and choose what feels most in alignment. That's what we're meant to be doing. And then encouraging everyone. Like I had people come and fly out to Long Island, and I hosted an ice bath challenge. So like that was a lot of fun. And like, people, they got into ice baths, and I was like, yeah, you could do it. And they did it. So like, we encourage each other, like, hey, we could do great things together. Yeah. It's beautiful. Michael Zinn, I saw you at where was it? It was in Plainview. You were hosting at a spiritual convention. You didn't see me though. I said hello to you. Yeah.
So was the challenge how long you could stay in the ice bath? Was that the challenge?
No, you're not supposed to do that. The challenge was just stay as long as you can, right? Some people could only make it 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Some people made it 9 minutes. So it's okay. As long as you make it, as long as you just try, right? Like that's it. Did you get into an ice bath? Yes. Did you last like a moment? Yes. And I'm proud of you. Right? Because when I first did it, it was cold water. And I mean, I was like, oh my God. Like crazy.
Is it more like a mental thing where you have to tell yourself this water is warm and it's relaxing and it's killing, and then
all that stuff went right out the window.
Were you trying to like build yourself up about it though, and thinking like that before you got in it? It's like,
before I was like, okay, take a couple deep breaths, right? I'm doing it. And then you get in and you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Right. And then, but after you do it a bunch of times, you're just like, I got this. Right. And then you get in and you're like, I got this again. And then something fun happens, because now we have the control system, and the control system is when we're able to take our actual consciousness and pull it back. And when we pull it back, it goes into like the center of the mind. It is right in front of where the pineal gland lies. This is an awareness back shift. This is what the star people call it. While you're in that ice, many times we automatically shift into the back shift control system. Now, think about it this way too. Anytime like we go through or we are witnessing severe trauma, people always say the world seemed, and they do this, the world seemed like everything went super slow, but they are saying to you, they went back. So like they were here in the world, but they were back from the world. They were in the control system. That control system is the most important. Well, it's not the most important, the star people are correcting. It's very important, because all of the biological control lies there. So you can control all the body's hormones. If you need to summon super strength, it's in the control system. And I've done this too, because I was wrestling with a dog once with his rope, and it just came out of nowhere where I slipped into like a form of a daydream. I was my consciousness was in the control system unknowingly, because I didn't know what I was doing. And then all of a sudden I felt like I had complete control over this dog. This dog, he had me dead to rights. You know what I mean? Like he chewed my slippers. Like he was totally in control all the time. And on this one time, it was like, wow, I'm in full control. And even he had like his eyes opened up. And it was just a moment where I knew this is what it feels like, because you change or shift. All of the hormones in the body shift when you're in there. You could shift your level of awareness. You can pull things back. You have to do like a drop down. You have to take your awareness. You have to activate the heart, because the heart controls time and space. But you're able to drop into the control system, activate the time and space. And then all of a sudden, you can make changes to the outer worlds. Everything comes from coming within. However, you have to go and you have to redo the entire it is, dear ones, cleansing and purifying of your complete energetic grid complex, which is key. 4, any densities in the outer or internal circumstances will always mirror reflect first. This happens in your cycle repeat marks. The cycle repeats are any experience that repeats in your waking world in order for you to walk through and hold a love-based emotion for that experience. This also grants the primary individual an opportunity to hold neutrality. Holding neutrality rebalances all energetic cords back into a positively aligned manifestation. Thank you.
Thank you, Star People.
Thank you, Star People. Beautiful. Yeah.
I know how it feels to get in a cold bath because here our power always goes out during the hurricanes, so I have to take a cold shower.
Oh my goodness. My heart goes for you. In that cold bath, it's like, yes, I'm gonna get in but you know what? It's not so bad. Like I usually do them during the summer, and I find like the health benefits are amazing. You drop weight, right? Real quick. That's like one of the fastest ways. Any depression, anxiety, stress, all that stuff like disappears. And you spend the time really getting to know yourself, because the first couple ones of the season that you do, your body's like, all right, we're going to go lay down under the blankets, and I'm just going to close my eyes, and I'm going inward. And that really allows for that time to come within and like to know yourself. And the second you start doing this, it's like, wow, well, can I energetically cast an emotion during the ice bath? And the answer is yes. So the reason why the ice bath is going to change your depression and all that stuff, it disappears from you, is because it's allowing access into the imprint systems. So you'll hear the Star People talk many times about, the thoughts that we speak, it imprints in the cellular structures of the body. Well, we have to hold a very high emotion. It's not a high, it's an intense emotion. The Star People are correcting. That intense emotion allows, dear ones, for each of you to energetically imprint the cellular material. However, while you are under an ice bath, that is a high intense emotion. You are then able to select a thought form and imprint that thought form inside of the physical body. Many times when an individual is under the ice, they may have the thought, oh my goodness, I need super strength to break through this ice. That thought form then, because the high intensity of the emotion, then allows for the genome expression to change or modify, allowing for the strength to become fully activated in the body. Any fight or flight system that requires activation may be done during an ice bath. However, dear ones, it is the thought in combination with the emotion which then shifts or modifies the resonant frequency of your biological form. Thank you.
Wow.
Beautiful. Thank you, Star People.
Thank you.
The Star People always make me sleepy. Like I just want to close my eyes. It's like, I can feel the energy. I just can.
Mhm.
Thank you.
It's like radiating.
It does. It does. I came out of a channeling once, and because now I'm aware, because the Star People, I was like, what happened? Right? I came out of a channeling session in front of real people, like in real life. It wasn't behind a computer. And one of my good friends, her name changed. And I was like, that's not your name. And she was like, that's my name. And all of a sudden it was like something came over me, and it was like, oh, that's your name. But in the reality where I was, that was not her name. And like, so it's called being a quantum channeler. It's when you're activating different high frequencies. Well, it's high frequencies because of the type of knowledge and frequencies the Star People are gifting us. But that frequency is activating the quantum. And this is why the energetic grids and everyone's thought grids, it forms a collective consciousness grid during the channeling session. This is how many times the Star People are able to answer everyone's questions before you guys even ask it. It's because we are activating a unity consciousness on the tinier level, the macro level, which then in turn, think about it. We have to activate unity consciousness on a small level. And then when we do it enough times, it reflects outwards. And then all of a sudden, unity consciousness becomes activated for the entire planet. They've been calling me an activator, right? Like Starseed Activations. And from utilizing that word constantly, it's like the activation is imprinting, and it's taking the emotion and imprinting it in the cellular levels of all of our bodies that then shifts your manifestation. That's how the entire system works. And the beautiful thing about it is that we all do it. So every single one of us can focus on it and we can all achieve it. And we do it together as a tribe. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think you knew her higher self name? And that's what, like, you were thinking that's not your name, your name's this, but it was like her higher self. You were.
No,
I was just thinking, like, or did you get a different name from?
oh no, it was a parallel reality version of her.
Okay.
So because we co-create together. So when we
Yeah.
touch into the quantum field,
Okay.
all potentiality is there. Every timeline, everybody, we're all co-creating. We're each in our own individual timeline bubble. And
Yeah.
then when we come together during the channeling raises my frequency up into that grid of the quantum realm. And then all of a sudden it's coming out of it. It's like, wow, I notice things change or shift. And it's really interesting. It truly is a blessing. And like the way I see it is, when coming out of the channeling, it's always in the highest alignment for all, so that it's like a healing for all of us. Yeah.
Now, is like the parallel life the same thing as like a multiverse?
Yes. The star people call it the world among worlds. So it's like we're in this world and we're experiencing this frequency right now in this reality. And then in any given moment, or any of us can come inwards and make one tiny little shift in our baseline frequency. And literally, it happens like this. And we can either manifest something instantaneously, which I've already seen. So I know it's real, which is big because now my belief systems know it to be real. But we can shift any item in our world, including people, places, and things. So, and then this is where we talk about energetic cords, right? And we have these energy cords that come and it puts us into alignment to have the experiences with the people, places, and things. Now, the star people say these cords are more plasma based. And we know your energetic grid complex, it has a star field, and we are free flowing the ether and the plasma. We pull it through, and then all of a sudden it wills the physical material as we see fit. This goes into E equals MC squared. Matter is energy, but the energy is, a lot of it is plasma. It is not 100% plasma, as the star people are saying right now, but primarily it has a lot of plasma inside of it. Now, when we start to recognize this, it then allows us to know, okay, so that means that our thoughts and our emotions control the reality as we see it. We are already seeing reflections, and we are already activating unity consciousness on the smaller levels. With certain solar energetics as well, we're also noticing different polarity reversals. So there have been different times, and I've seen this maybe 3, but definitely 2 times in which, and it felt like it was everybody. If you were like really high vibing and everything was going good, all of a sudden everything reversed and you were coming down. You were seeing all the darkness. And then all of a sudden it reversed again. And then you were back to high vibing. But the people who were low vibing, it was like wham. So it reversed our polarity. And what is a polarity? If you're happy, now all of a sudden you have this moment to be sad. The polarity is reversed. So what is a emotion? Is made of magnetics. It's the Earth's magnetic sphere. Now, being that the emotions come from the heart radiates the emotions out. This is your magnetism. So we've seen that reversed twice, possibly 3 times. I'm pretty sure it's 3, but definitely twice. So if we've seen it 2 or 3 times already in an individual level, so it's happening to all the people, what does that look like when it happens to the entire planet? That's really interesting as well. So, but it's a blessing because look at the civilization. If the civilization as a whole is negative, the entire planet is going to shift into a positive. So that's what I mean. Like, we just have to sit back. We have to focus on loving ourselves and trying to do our best without trying to be perfect. Try to heal yourself. Try and be happy. Try and, I love and bless my body. Send that energy, send the Reiki inwards, right? Do good things for each other and really broadcast that positivity to each and every person that you come across. The more we do this, when we do see the solar energy shift the magnetics of the planet, we're going to see the civilization go from darkness to light. And that is going to bring peace on earth, or a level 1 civilization. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I was just thinking about love and bless my body.
Yeah.
Right before you started talking, I'm like, Danielle should love and bless her body and show everybody.
You see? I bet you that was the star people telling you. Sometimes they do that. And the star people, they talk to us a lot of the times like it is our voice in our mind.
Mhm.
And in the beginning of my journey, and it was 5:55 or 50.55 right on the clock. Right as I'm saying this, in the beginning of my journey, I had to start talking to that voice in my mind. And a part of me was like, I'm crazy. And then the voice in my mind would be like, yeah, you're totally crazy. And I was like, I didn't say that, right? And then I would laugh, like, and that's like, that is not me. So, but it was the voice inside my mind. That's my Starman. It's so funny. He's hilarious. And so, but and it kept going on like that. And it was like, finally, it just, you're walking around laughing all day. And that was 2019. And he really got me through my darkness and my transformation. I truly am grateful for him, truly. And all of the star people, because they all helped. It's a team. But when you start talking to the voice inside your mind, ask it questions, see if it comes back and gives you an answer. Many times they like to take it very gentle and slow with us. So they may give you a bright idea and you're like, wow, I just had this question and now here's this bright idea. And the bright idea was they fully explain the entire thing. And it's like, you think that you're a genius because like you had all these bright ideas.
No, I know it's not me.
Yeah, I didn't know in the beginning. I walked around like that and I was like, wow, I always have the answer. Right. And I thought it was just because it was me. No, I was channeling. So, but it's a blessing. Yeah.
That's what's happening to me.
Yeah.
Of course it is. That's why I'm telling you. So start talking to the voice inside your mind.
I do. I talk to him all day long, all night long. I do.
She's so excited about it too. It's so cute. And she'd be like, I used to not remember anything and now I can remember stuff.
It's true. It's true.
But that's a blessing. That
Yeah.
in itself is a blessing too, because, and let me tell you, I went through that as well. I mean, I've been through so much. It was for 6 months in 2012, and my memory got dropped down to like a level 0. It was like, oh God. I would sit in a chair and someone would come up to me and ask me a question. And as they said the sentence was like, it was gone. And I was like, I don't even know what you said. So I couldn't even reply to you. And, in 6 months, I started taking a high mineral. And then all of a sudden, my memory came back. And every single thing I had read or seen, it had all started sticking in my mind. And I knew it all. Now, the spiritual reason for going through that, it has a lot to do with Lumerius and Atlantis and the fall. Because humanity back then was at a very high level. That high level was an unlocked memory grid complex, which allowed them full memory of all of their past and future lives, as well as the ability, dear ones, to tap into Mother Earth's frequency, tuning into her memory as well. That being said, there were certain alignments of the individuals of that day and age in which their memory grid complex was then reverted to a level 0, as the channeler would say. That level 0 allowed for each individual's memory to be completely wiped, unless that individual was properly situated in the Merkaba field. For a properly situated energetic grid complex shall observe all memory and store it indefinitely. This is known as an activated human being, dear ones. However, the majority of the civilization at that time went down to a memory wipe perspective. This means that they were standing wherever they were, and then they didn't know what to do. So they didn't know how to feed themselves. They didn't know what hunger was. They didn't know their names. They imagine, and it was like what I went through. It was, well, mine was a little different, but it was, you have no memory. Mine was more like the short-term memory was gone, completely gone. But that's what they went through back in the day. Now, the people who go through the memory wipe now in this day and age, it's because of the law of polarity, right? And so the law of polarity shows us if you've experienced sadness, we are given an opportunity to slingshot and hold the opposite polarity emotion. So if you've experienced no memory, you are going to experience all memory. It's only a potential. It does not mean it's guaranteed for you to unlock, because some people may not heal. And if they don't heal it, they may not unlock it. However, the potential is there. And that means that all we have to do is focus on it to fully unlock the memory grids. What happens when we unlock the memory? We remember who we are before we came here. That means all the past lives, all the future lives, all information from Mother Earth, and who your actual soul's name is. Now, the way to unlock this is summoning the soul. So if you know who your higher self's name is, start speaking that name. I am this person. I am this being. That's your higher self. What's the higher self's name? Get the name. You channel it through. You keep asking your higher self, what's your name? What's my name? Who am I? Who is the soul's name that you are? The second you have that name, turn it into an affirmation. I am this person. Thank you, higher self, for unlocking my memory. I remember what it's like to be this person. This is how we activate our celestial being, which is genius.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Summon my soul. I need to remember that. I wanted to write it down. Because last time you said it, I was going to write it down and I forgot. And I'm like, man,
What was it?
get this down.
Summoning your soul.
Summoning your soul, yeah.
Your soul name. And then I am. So like I know mine is L. That's the short version for the actual soul's name, but L is. And for a while there, it was kind of like a frequency where you go up and you go down. I was ready to assume the name of L, and they were like, we have to do more healing. You had to release it. And now it's like it's coming back. I kept it as a nickname, but I was actually going to legally change my name to L and really step into that timeline in which that is who I am. But the star people said it wasn't in alignment at that time. So I had to release it and start all over again, right? And go through the healing process. But in time, now I've started a private journal, which could potentially turn into a book. And it's called Summoning L. And all the baby steps that I personally have taken in my life to show people more who I am, right? So one of the entries was, I woke up this day, I'm focused on these memories or these emotion codes. I think I read it like that. So you guys can see the emotion codes without knowing my memories too much. Because it's crazy darkness, right? And, but it's here's the emotions, and here's how I'm releasing the emotions, and here's what I'm doing. And, even crying, because we have to cry these emotions out. It's very painful sometimes, right? And to feel it and to release it, and then to see the reflections. And what did you see in the day? What did you do? Like today I went for the creek walk. I put my hands in a tree. And I thanked Mother Earth for shifting my magnetics, allowing me access into the magical creature kingdom, right? So little things like that, and writing it in the book. And it's these are all little things that I personally have done on my ascension journey. so that, and it's like it's giving people power. It's like you could do it too. Yeah.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the hour is getting ready to be an hour.
Right? Doesn't it go so quick? Did it
It
feel quick for
did.
you guys?
Yeah, it was super fast.
There's a car alarm outside my window. I'm like, what's the spiritual meaning of a car alarm? I always Google the synchronicities.
I have a prayer to say if you all want me to say it.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
It's about your DNA.
Okay. Let's do it.
Let's hope I don't mess up.
It's okay if you do.
Mess up. You know why?
I'm not going to mess up because I fixed the parts. I fixed them.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Divine DNA, I call upon Source Creator God to bring in the Almighty Christ light to enter everyone watching this live and catching the replay. Source love, source light. This Christ light travels into our crown, through our third eye, through our throat, and settles into our heart space. I ask Source Creator God to help our souls truly remember our perfect divine origin and heritage within every cell of our spiritual DNA. We now recall our radiant joy back into our consciousness so that our creative power can bloom. Thank you for giving us back our own knowledge and sacred insight. Thank you for assuring us that divine love is present in every aspect of our life. With Source Energy's Christlight, we now call our divine DNA back to all of our four bodies for our highest and greatest good. So be it, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you,
you.
Margie.
Hi, Marcy. I didn't get to say hi to Marcy a second ago. Well, a little while ago.
Brad.
Hi, Marcy.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, Brad. Hi, Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
Hi, everybody. Hi, TikTok and Instagram. Hi, Francis. I see you there. I always love, we are not doing a shadow work Zoom tonight because it is 10 o'clock already in New York time, except I'm in Pennsylvania. So
Yeah. Yep.
Same time there too, right?
Oh yeah, it's 10:02.
Yeah.
But that's okay. This was a lot of fun. I had fun. Hi, Jakey Poo. Love you, baby. That's my nephew. He's little.
Aww.
Yeah, you know. I see him. And
Yeah,
we love you, Jake.
I think we should do this like every month. Go
We
on
can do this every
with
month.
us.
I don't mind.
With
Yeah.
all three of us every month. Go on. Because in a
Definitely.
month's time, things could change, we can become more evolved.
Yep.
Well, we evolve with each and every one. And I think it's just important just to be ourselves, right? And to, if you guys in like the chat boxes, if you have any questions, please, by all means, send them in the chat box and we'll answer them, right? The star people are always willing to take the questions and to answer them and to help all of us. My starman's giggling. He's like, we did answer all of their questions though. Because they could see
He's like, they're done for the night.
yeah, he's like, we got most of them, but we got all of them. Saying, so amazing. But yeah, thank you guys for coming so much. So we are going to conclude, and let's do an Om one more time. Today is the full moon. So as we are engaging in this Om, I want you guys to think or feel of something that you wish to release. Right. And just as we are oming, imagine that whatever it is to just come off of your body, off of your mind, off of your soul, and just imagine it being gone. Right. And just releasing it. Ilio, that's a funny question. We'll dive into that after the Om. So just take a nice deep breath in. And we just want to thank the star people Thank you, dear star people, for this beautiful channeling tonight. Thank you for showing up, for helping us, and for facilitating energy clearings on us. It is beautiful, and we are grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, star people.
Now, just really quick, we'll tune into Ilio's question. So the foods, I've gone 360 on this one, where my original thought form was we have to eat raw foods that come from the earth. So like the peppers, the cucumbers, the lettuce, right? The salads, because it's absorbing the solar energies and it is giving us the energy in our energetic grids. It's food for the soul. And I went through the whole, because if you cook a plant, it removes the light ion. So the aura is gone. You removed it. So that in itself, it told me, well, we have to eat that. And then all of a sudden, I turned into it. It was like rabbit food. I ate salad, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 8 months. I didn't lose any weight doing it either. And all of a sudden, the star people were like, well, your alignment to eating the foods, because it's like you're eating the same thing over and over, it could potentially be distorted. So they had me pull back from the salad and switch to hot vegetables. And then I started losing weight very rapidly. So it's like the most important thing I could tell you about the food is watch your alignment. So some people, and I'm not encouraging anyone to do this, some people will eat fast food and they will not get sick and they will be happy and high vibing, right? So, and I had this experience in 2019. So I had a broken tooth in the back, and anytime I would have sugar, the tooth would like zing, release. And back then I was drinking the Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. I was like a drive-through champion, right? And so every time I would have one, the tooth would zing. When I reached a high enough frequency, I was happy and I was laughing all day long, it stopped bothering the tooth. So really, it's a simulation and we are the food. So the main important part about what food to eat is how do you feel? Now, the most important thing that the star people have taught me, when I'm going to sit down, make it a practice. So, and like, what I mean is don't eat as you're doing other things, potentially, right? Sometimes I do that, and, just throwing that out there. We don't be perfect. We stand in that moment. But for the most part, take your plate of food and bless it and send love and light over it. We want to try and change our frequency. So the prayer, yes, the words are also going to have an effect on the food. However, what the star people have shown me to do is we close our eyes and then we feel the feeling, dear ones, of flying over an ocean. We see the whales and the dolphins ever so gently jumping, trying to touch our fingertips. We visualize flying through a rainforest, seeing the tropical birds. We see the monkeys swinging from tree to tree. We visualize standing in front of the Great Pyramid. We look up in all of its glory. And finally, we sit in a field of sunflowers watching the sunset. And as we do this, we feel so much love and compassion for Mother Earth. And as we feel all of these feelings of love for the planet that we are born on, we send all of that love and blessings to the food. And we say, we love and bless this food. Thank you, dear food, for holding and activating 4 and 5D frequency coding. We love you. We bless you. Thank you for activating my highest potential timeline expression. And then we take a breath and we Om and we say thank you and we enjoy that food. And when you do that, your body feels more at peace. Your body feels at love. And you think and you feel about Mother Earth like so much love, so much connectivity to her. And when you do that, it overrides anything that's in the food that could potentially cause you harm. Now, that being said, as you're eating the food, if something dark comes into your existence, like let's say you heard someone arguing on the phone in the other room, you stop and you recalibrate yourself. And that's okay too. If you're at a table with other people who are talking about politics, stop, recalibrate the food once again. Even if you have to remove yourself from the environment, take your food with you, whatever the situation is, do it like it's a must, especially if you have any illnesses. Start doing that and just see how you feel. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yep.
Okay. Thank
Nice.
you guys so much for coming. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank
Thank
you for having me.
One more shout out to my Jake. Jake, thank you very much for coming. I love you, buddy. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Mary. Do you girls want to say anything? Say bye to everyone.
Bye, guys.
Love
Love you.
Love you guys. Thanks for coming.
Yes, we
Thanks
love
for
you
having
all.
us.
Thank you guys so incredibly much for coming. And we will see you all on Thursday. Happy holidays, just in case.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we send many love and blessings.
Bye.